will come followed by the national.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जगति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाने तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जय गण मंगल गायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
When words of change have brought a new vibe to our country, and making of new India is in offering. We stand here to witness a resurgent India with pride in our hearts and tears of joy in our eyes on our 75th Independence Day. On this auspicious day, How can we forget our glorious past and immense sacrifices of innumerable mothers who, prior sacrifices, laid the foundation of independent India? India's Independence Day is not only a day of celebration, but a day of remembrance and veneration. May the Indian traveler fly high. Warm greetings to everyone on this day.
It is our proud privilege to have Colonel E.J. Jayakanan, veteran, as our chief guest for the day, and Mr. Devendra Bahadur Singh, veteran, Mr. Ramesh Singh, Mr. Chandra Mohan, and Mr. Y.R.C. Rao from the Indian Army, Mr. K. Muralidharan Nayak from the Indian Air Force, Mr. Satish Vinayak Gadge from the Indian Navy as our special guest. Very Reverend Thomas Ramban, Vice President of our school, Honorable Correspondent Mr. Rajan Jodhsar, Church and School Managing Committee, respected Principal Professor Dr. V.D. Thargan Sir, in charges Mrs. Anita Rajan Ma'am, Mrs. Beena Matthew Ma'am, and Mrs. S. Gina Ma'am, teachers, parents, and each one of you present over here.
A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. Now, we would like to invite the school choir group for the school prayer.
Be thankful for the night and for the pleasant morning light, for rest and food and loving care, and all that make the day so fair. Help us to do the things we should, to be to others kind and good, in all we do and work of faith, to grow more loving every day.
देश सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिससे तेरी शान है फिर हमेशा ऊंचा रखना इसका जब तक दिल में जान हो.
It is rightly said that a man is a true patriot if his heart beats true to his country. With that, may I please request our respected principal sir to welcome the dignitaries on and off the dais.
First of all, we are very much thankful to God Almighty because we were little tense till late evening because of the weather. And thankfully, we have a very pleasant weather conducive to our occasion. MGM has received many dignitaries in the last 55 years. But nothing can be more special and revered with a team of guests we have today. Just our Vice President told me it is a very unique event in the history of MGM School. We have a team of guests led by Colonel E.J. Jayakanan and Mr. Devendra Bahadur Singh, Mr. Satish Gadge, Mr. Chandra Mohan, Mr. Y.R.C. Rao, Mr. K. Muralidharan Nayak, and of course, our own Mr. Shahu John, who is a part of our school managing committee. As said by Mother Teresa, that if I give it to you, it implies that I am giving it to the Jesus Christ. So this occasion, we are trying to or attempting to acknowledge and honor the services of the defense services, the defense personals. The defense personals who are still posted in the hardest conditions so that we can have a nice function here. So that we can live a comfortable life, we can breathe properly. So when we are honoring this distinguished guest, we are actually also honoring through them the unsung heroes who were detrimental or instrumental in getting us the independence. This Independence Day is more special as it is called as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which kicked off on March 12th, 2021. And it has a host of activities and gamut of events which is being streamlined through various government departments. It deals with development, governance, technology, reforms, and policies. One of those policies we are very much into, and that is the National Education Policy 2020. You see, in the month of March, this was started through the Dandy March, but unfortunately, the nature's fury, the so-called man-made pandemic, tried to overshadow the whole celebration. We have lost many people, many citizens, and many people all over the world. This COVID pandemic has taught us great lessons, and one of them is our restrictions to the freedom. The freedom has got redefined. The present gathering is a very perfect example, wherein if we compare it with our celebrations 2 years back, this was not the case. The grim attendance speaks a lot. So that implies that our rights and duties, our responsibilities has got redefined with the new normals. Now we are supposed to follow the COVID appropriate protocols. So there is some restrictions on the freedom, and we have to honor it for our betterment and for the safety of others. I'm very thankful that the dignitaries have spared their valuable time for us. And apart from that, our driving force, Very Reverend Thomas Ramban, the Vice President, I welcome Rambachan to this occasion. Apart from that, our Honorable Correspondent, the School Managing Committee and the Church Managing Committee to this August occasion. Let this be a new beginning. I had a detailed talk with Mr. Satish Gadge, who happens to be a very dynamic person, who is the secretary of this association. So let this be a beginning of a long, fruitful association with the school, wherein we want to hone, develop the skills of our students. When I say skills, it is very much required, an apt thing, which is a necessity, so that जैसे कहते हैं अंधेरे में भी जब आपकी परछाई आपके साथ नहीं देती, तब आपका मनोबल, आपका कौशल ही बढ़ाता है. Your skills become the main tool even in the darkest space when your shadow is also not helping you. So with that motto, we are requesting our long-term association with this resourceful थीम। प्रासंगिक तौर पर हम इन महानुभावों से जुड़ना चाहते हैं ताकि हम लोग एक बेहतर इंस्टीट्यूशन बन सके जहां की हम लोग बेटर सिटीजन्स, we roll out better citizens for the betterment of the society. So with that, I once again wish each and every one of you a happy 75th Independence Day. In literal sense, let us have freedom in our mind, faith in our words, and pride in our souls. I salute the Indian Army and thank you once again for patient listening. Thank you very much.
Speech is something by which a person opens up to people's hearts through their ears and their words. So we would like to invite Ipshita Umre of Class 7 for a speech.
Good morning to the Honorable Chief Guest for the day, all the dignitaries on the dais, Vice President of the school, Honorable Correspondent, church and school committee members, respected Principal Sir, shifts in charges, my dear parents, school staff members, and my respected seniors. I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny. And now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or with full measures, but very substantial. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake for life and freedom. These golden lines were the beginning of a new era. Our first speech delivered by our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It's been 74 years we are enjoying freedom. Freedom then meant a life that could be lived with dignity and self-respect. And freedom now means a life where we can pursue what our dreams are. The context of freedom has changed in all these years, but the fight to make our motherland free will never be forgotten. We all of this generation are born with a silver spoon in mouth called freedom, but the amount of dedication, strength, fights, blood, life, efforts, self-respect, and restlessness that actually bought freedom is something that we should always remember. I pay my sincere tribute to those who live to die for the motherland. They will always stay alive in the heart of every Indian till eternity. I, Akshita Umbre from Class 7A, would like to take this opportunity to pay my heartfelt gratitude and sincere tribute to those legends of this land, because of whom I'm standing here with no fear in heart and lots of dream in eyes. They're just pledged to stay united like a mountain and not fall in front of enemies in any manner. Only one thing to ask. If not now, then when? If not me, then who? To express my feelings better, I would like to recite a Hindi Nazm which glorifies the legendary deeds of our soldiers for the ultimate sacrifice that they did for us. है नमन उनको कि जो इस देह को अमरत्व देकर इस जगत में शौर्य की जीवित कहानी हो गए है नमन उनको कि जिनके सामने बौना हिमालय जो धरा पर गिर पड़े पर आसमानी हो गए है नमन उनको कि जो इस देह को अमरत्व देकर हमने लौटाए सिकंदर सर झुकाए मात खाए हमने लौटाए सिकंदर सर झुकाए मात खाए हमसे भिड़ते हैं वो जिनका मन धरा से भर गया है नर्क में तुम पूछना
अपने बुजुर्गों से कभी भी उनके माथे पर हमारी ठोकरों का ही गया है। सीख के दांतों से गिनती सीखने वालों की आदत, शीश देने की कला में क्या अजब है क्या नया है। जूझना यमराज से आदत पुरानी है हमारी, उत्तरों की खोज में फिर एक नचिकेता चला है नमन उनको कि जिनकी अग्नि से हारा दिवाकर, काल को दुख जिनके आगे पानी पानी हो गए हैं। है नमन उनको कि जो इस देह को अमरत्व देकर। धन्यवाद, आपका दिन शुभ हो। जय हिंद।
It is our immense pleasure to have very Reverend Thomas Ramban, the Vice President of our school, amongst us today. We would kindly request Father for the presidential address.
Good morning. Today's chief guest, respected Colonel E.J. Jayagannan, and all the fellowship of various defense members, honorable correspondent, school managing committee members, respected principal, shift in charge, beloved teachers, and non-teaching staff, my dear loving children. Today we are united here to celebrate the 75th Independence Day of our country. Independence Day is the most significant day in the history of India because it remains us for the bravery and struggle of our freedom fighters. India got freedom on 15th August 1947 after many years of hard struggle and sacrifice by our great freedom fighters. We should salute those heroes and pay our tribute to them by the remembering their sacrifice for his motherland. We should never forget that it is because of freedom fighters and the great leaders' effort that we stand today and breathe in an independent India. We are stepping into the 75 years of independence of our nation. Our 74 years are over with the present Independence Day of India. Embracing freedom obtained through the long non-violence battle against in the British Empire. We become independent to rule ourselves. Our founding fathers dreamed to our nation which would have ideals of the liberty, equality, and the fraternity as it is pillars of our foundation. It would be democratical nation with a fabric of the secularism. It would be a nation in which there would be liberty, freedom, freedom of the expression, freedom from the fear, freedom from that any oppression, freedom from the aggression and repression. Liberty will be include sphere of the political, social, and the practice and the propagate their faith. Independence gives us the sense of the freedom, not only from the foreign rule, but from any enslaving rule from within. In the past 74 years, we have grown much in the field of education, healthcare, governance, economic standards, international affairs, space technology, and women empowerment. After being the republic, our constitution has given us all the right and the security for our social living. We have built our own defense system strong so that we can fight against any foreign power which may try to respect in our land. Independence should be also means that we can plan our future with regard to any growth in any field. We can also enter in the mutual understanding with any country. We are free to elect our own leaders who will be either servant leaders to the work for the growth of the nation. We need to be vigilant about the evil forces and constantly fight against all the power of fascism and nationalism. We need to protect the ideas of the independence of this great nation so that the tricolor flag would fly in a true freedom. My dear students, you are the future of the nation. You all should be stand united, work hard, and contribute your bit for the betterment of our nation. You can give continuation by doing the social service, contributing in the economic and the social growth of our country, by helping remove social evils such as poverty, corruption, unemployment from our country. We should sincerely perform our duty and do work hard to get the goal and the successful lead this democratic nation. भारत की आजादी की दिलाने में कुछ महापुरुषों ने अपनी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निर्भय है. उन्होंने अपनी जान गंवाकर हमें एक सौंदर्य राष्ट्र प्रदान किया है. इसमें इस महापुरुषों को तथा उनके समर्पण और त्याग याद किया जाता है और उन्होंने भावपूर्वक श्रद्धांजलि दी जाती है. और इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे स्कूल के इतिहास की पहली बार है जो भी हमारा देश के लिए सेवा किया वो हमारा रिटायर्ड सैनिक को ऑनर करने के लिए हमें इस योजना बनाया गया. इसके लिए मैं बहुत आभारी अभिनंदन करता हूं और हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब को और फैकल्टी मेंबर्स को और मैनेज कमेटी मेंबर्स को भी मैं बहुत बहुत ग्रेटिट्यूड देता हूं. इस अवसर पर हमारे स्वतंत्रता दिन की आप लोग सबको हमारे शुभकामनाएं. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you, Father. Music gives soul to universe, wings to mind, flight to imagination, and light to everything. With that, we invite the students of our school for a patriotic song.
That was indeed a perfect synchronization of music and singing. Now, may we please request our chief guest for the day, designated as SEAL Signals Army Commandant and OSD with DGPHQ Government of Chhattisgarh and retired from HQ Kosa, Raipur and Naya Raipur after a service of 35 years in the Indian Army and 3 years with the DGPHQ Chhattisgarh, Colonel E.J. Jayakanan, veteran, to motivate us with his words of wisdom. Please, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Vice President, Principal, MGM, Dr. Dragan, members of the staff, distinguished dignitaries, academic stalwarts, administrative staff, and my wonderful students who are not here. I think only very few are here due to the scenario that you all know. But they have joined online. Yes, they are there online, I'm sure. But seeing them physically and seeing them in the electronic media definitely makes a difference. I'm glad that they are all
listening to us. In the morning, we had a wonderful beginning for the 75th Independence Day. My thoughts goes back to 1984, when I just landed here with my wife, who was an alumni of MGM. I just got married and roamed around all over the country and finally landed here and wanted to meet the father, John, I suppose he was there. I met him for 10 minutes and took his blessing. My wife told me this is my school where I was given the basic foundation to grow in life. After that, I've been coming every year for my annual leave. Because being an army officer, we could come once or twice to our hometown. I was passing through Bhilai and from the south, where my parents were there. So I was recollecting those wonderful memories, and again I saw the school Golden Jubilee celebration, which has been celebrated some time back. That time, fortunately, I was here, but although I didn't attend the function, but I could feel the pulse of the school growing. I passed through, and I'm glad that today I got an opportunity to see you all here. My thought goes back again to seeing this campus, the wonderful quadrangle that I'm seeing here, is taking me back to the school where I was a principal in sometime in 90s. The military school, Science School, Chittorgarh. Though I was a product of a Science School, so fortunately I got an assignment to train some of the upcoming cadets in the military schools. The atmosphere was almost exactly similar. The quadrangle is so similar to that. We thought good back, and all the cadets were filled in all the four squares which you see in front of you. Anyway, another important thought flashed my mind is immediately after Kargil War, exactly in 1999, we went to honor those martyrs with my commander, standing there in Dras, where my second regiment had participated, although I was a part of the regiment, but then I moved somewhere else to some other assignment that period. But again, the Independence Day celebrated during that period takes me back with lots of sentimental value. I'm glad that today I've got a wonderful opportunity to share a few of my thoughts. May not be directly involved in the Independence Day. At the same time, having given me an opportunity, I will allow to inspire some of the budding cadets who are part of this MGM school. In 1947, 15th August, the first Independence Day was celebrated. Immediately after that, the first army assignment came in 1948. I don't know. Even I wasn't born that time. But all that we learned was through our parents or our seniors or through our teachers who were part of those periods. Freedom that we got is something which one cannot imagine. The amount of pressure, amount of pain that each and every citizen in those days who undertook and sacrificed their life. But unfortunately, after the partition, 1948, Indian Army was called in to save our nation. That was the first time they realized how the army should be equipped, because we were not fully equipped. Warfare was not that much gold. In fact, Second World War was the one which was being discussed how it was fought in during 1942 to 45, where the Indian contingents have represented so many other formations and served all over the world where the war was on. And to cut it out, I just want to go ahead and tell you that after 48, we settled our basic differences and the nation progressed the way the ancestors have run the country. Immediately in 1962, a great friend, so-called Chinese, attacked the country. Even that time, the army was not fully equipped. They were not having proper shoes, proper weapon or clothing. You may say anything, but the way they fought it out in the northern sector is really commendable. Soon after that, we again, within 3 years, our great friend, neighbor, Pakistan, 1965 war took us to a different level. Again, the modernization was not that effective during those days. Soon after that, we saw another war with Pakistan again, 1971. During this period, we were grown. So when we landed up in a military school, the war scenario was there. And when we left the school, again, I think the Bangladesh war was there. We created the liberation. We created that new country. We were forced to create that. And later on, you all have, again, some of you must have seen or heard about Kargil War, 1999. Why I'm saying this repeatedly is that going in for war or fighting another country in the battlefield is not an easy job. It is not good at all. But unfortunately, the entire world is going through, right from the ancient history, if you see, every nation has to have a defense. Unfortunately, we have to defend ourselves against the motive forces which are greedy, or you may call whatever the language you understand, that is going on in this world. So we have to be prepared to protect ourselves. And our nation was never interested in waging a war, or we were not interested in any extra territory that we wanted to have. And that the country is so vast, we have got enough resources. The democratic country is elected by every one of us, is doing fairly a good job. The government keeps changing. And for every individual to survive and contribute his best in this world, behind the students. I'm not going to say anything new that you all do not know. You are all aware, you are being groomed by a wonderful team of educationists all over the country. I'm sure MGM must be having the best in Bhilai and in Chhattisgarh. I've heard about it. And it's a pride that every teacher is inducing some value to every student who is going through, irrespective of the science, arts, or commerce, or whatever the subject the individual wants to study. I'm confident that every student who comes here is being motivated by a wonderful team of academicians. It is up to the students to grasp and understand and gain knowledge in the subject which you are being taught. As you grow in life, and when you reach the senior classes, you develop a liking for a particular subject. Some may like commerce, some may like art, some may like science, somebody wants to become a doctor, and all in different lines. Based on your aptitude, please pursue your goal to achieve excellence in that particular line. Do not be forced. My sincere advice, or with my experience that I see, please do not force your students to learn a particular subject just because you like to do, or you didn't want to, you could not achieve and might want my son or a daughter to achieve that. Never, please don't do. I'm sure. Guide them the field which they are interested in if you can. Otherwise, you will be forced to do certain things which the student may not like to enjoy the life. Whatever the profession they land up, you should enjoy doing that. Being a part of the military school doesn't mean that everyone should become an army officer or a air force officer or the naval officer in the armed forces. Everyone cannot be. But there are so many good scientists, good bankers, big industrialists. So multiple lines are available to you. Choose your field. But yes, today I will definitely tell, if you are interested in joining the armed forces, it is one of the best professions that you can ever enjoy in your life. And if you think that the academic part is over, you are slightly mistaken. The amount of studies that everyone goes through, you can ask some of my colleagues who are sitting here in commander uniform and Navy and the Air Force. They know how much of studies that we have put in to gain proficiency in our field of life. I never thought, after joining the signals, so much of studies is required in gaining knowledge in telecommunication. I was fortunate to have a good team of troops under me, right from the younger days to the last assignment. Wherever we were given an opportunity, we gave wonderful and reliable communications. Conventional warfare is something which we do not want to see, although we saw it in 1971 war. After that, the conventional warfare, the basic tactical scenario, and everything has been changed, modified because of the technology. The technology behind the armed forces is highly scientific, high-tech oriented, and if some of you are interested, do take interest. Definitely, when you join the armed forces, you will find that you have entered a wonderful ambience of family, that they train you, they guide you, they socially interact with you and keep you in a high moral state. And finally, if you are called upon to face an enemy, definitely you have to do your best. Armed forces are called only when the civil administration fails. We don't want the civil administration to fail, or they are put to a backward stage. Once we are called upon, then we go all out, because we have been trained to fight and fight to kill. Although it is not palatable to us. Not that we hate the enemy in front of me or in front of us. We love the man and the people who are behind me. That's why every man in this armed forces gives his life. Not because he hates the enemy, because he loves the man behind, or people behind us. We want them to live peacefully, happily, and continue with the job that they have been assigned to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it is wonderful to be here, and independence is not one day of our 15th August, you will gather, and the 26th January is the Republic Day, which we all again celebrate in a wonderful way. In between, what you do is more important. Please respect your elders, learn from your teachers, honor your warriors who gave their life. It is very difficult to understand the scenario when you fire a bullet from a weapon. I think you must be having NCC in your school. Anyway, those who have been in NCC, they know that when you fire a weapon, the bullet goes in front of you. Just imagine the same thing happening in the opposite direction. And if it misses you, you are lucky. If it hits you, if the bullet hits you, it's disastrous. It can take your life, or it can make you disabled, or it can cause a lot of inconvenience to yourself and your families and brothers, sisters, neighbors, friends. You know what I mean. Immediately, after the thing. I'm not here to tell what I did. What we should do is what I'm trying to convey to you. What we have done 40 years back is history. Your principal is here to take you all in a new direction with a highly reliable and qualified, educated staff with him. He'll be thinking ahead how you all should perform another 5 years hence. Fortunately, during the flag announcement service, the governor of Chhattisgarh called 3 officers, 1 brigadier, and myself, 1 colonel, and 1 more officer. He was worried about the national problems of the state. In 2010, we were told to raise something called the Chhattisgarh Armed Forces. I was grateful that I was selected and we could raise 3 new Chhattisgarh Armed Forces battalions, which did not even have a weapon. In 1 week, we could train them. So, with my experience that I had, either I was in the thick of operations, 9 years were spent in Jammu Kashmir in different ranks, and either I was in the thick of operations or fortunately I was brought back to the signal training centers or military college of telecommunication engineering where the officers were trained, or back to the fighting scenario. That gave me an opportunity to learn academically, tactically, and scientifically in the classrooms. At the same time, applied on ground when the actual situation was given to us. So, on that basis, I thank God for having given the mixed experience of learning the correct technology and applications on ground when it was required. In Chhattisgarh, a 1200 kilometers north to south area was wonderful to interact with so many battalions, and even the police forces could get a feel of what is armed forces. They never knew how to face the militants or Naxal or anti-social element, in whatever the terminology you call it. Anyone taking a weapon against the administration cannot survive for a longer period unless he change his mind. Now, we'll have to identify why the gentleman is picking up a weapon and fighting against you. Anyway, I leave it to others to just ponder over that and understand and make corrective actions wherever they can. The modern education philosophy is being beautifully implemented in most of the schools. I'm sure the principal must be going through the continuous, comprehensive education philosophy. During the last 2 years, unfortunately, we all have been going through a COVID pandemic crisis. I feel so sad for the students, the way they are being taught online classes. Everything is online. Yes, fortunately, having been in communication line for the last 3 decades plus, I know that we are really fortunate that you could implement and transfer the knowledge to the teachers, but nothing like going through the classroom teachings. I wouldn't know how far I would be correct. I still remember the 9th, 10th, and 11th standard class teachers who taught me physics, who taught me chemistry. There was no video, there were no scientific gadgets available. It was purely on models. But that's still flashing in my mind. Similarly, I'm sure the modern students, even after going through the computer technology, what you get conveyed to the teacher of that particular subject definitely matters a lot. I'm sure some of you may be able to understand and describe more about it. I don't know how far I will be connected. Principal should be able to tell you what I'm trying to say. Once the normalcy returns, please get back into your classrooms, because mobile and computer knowledge would not be sufficient. Suffice to say that please get out of your house, take precautions, and sweat it out for some time. You have to have some change from academic line, pick up some good sports. In any leadership assignment that you get, you have to be an all-rounder. All-rounder doesn't mean that average. You have to be all-rounder, excellent in most of the fields, and in your specialized field, you have to be the top. The competition is so high. So unless you professionally prepare yourself to face that particular line, you may not be satisfied in the branch or in the field that you will be undertaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure please guide this modern generation, and my sincere wishes that they all will keep the basic values of life. Please don't forget there are certain basic values in life which I do not want to convey at this stage. Psychological factor is going to be the very important thing. Especially emotional psychology is going to be a very, very important factor in the future generations. Please guide them, let them academically become sound, and select the field of their choice and do their best. Leave the rest to the Almighty. He has got his own way of dealing things. We have faith in the Almighty, and that is one thing which is taking in our country. Please respect every religion. We are not here to discuss politics or religion here. We are purely talking about academics knowledge filled with human values. You will become a wonderful gentleman, and wherever you go in this world, MGM will produce one of the best students in this country. I wish all the best to the MGM team. God bless. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Our Independence Day is deeply inspired by the reinforcement of pride of our nation's rich heritage. Now, Sanya Anil of Class 10 will come up to deliver a Hindi speech.
देश सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिससे तेरी शान है, देश सलामी इस तिरंगे को जिससे तेरी शान है, सर हमेशा ऊंचा रखना इसका जब तक तन में जान है, जब तक तन में जान है। आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री कर्नल पीछे जय कर्नल भारतीय जल सेना एवं भारतीय रक्षा विभाग से संलग्न गणमान्य अतिथिगण, शाला उपाध्यक्ष वेरी रेवरेंड थॉमस रंबान, आदरणीय करेस्पॉन्डेंट सर, चर्च एवं शाला प्रबंधन समिति के सदस्यगण, प्राचार्य महोदय, पाली प्रभारीगण, शिक्षकगण, अन्य सदस्यगण एवं मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, आप सबको 75वें स्वतंत्रता दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। स्वतंत्रता दिवस के इस पावन अवसर पर अपने विचार व्यक्त करने का अवसर प्राप्त कर मुझे हर्ष की अनुभूति हो रही है। ना पूछो जमाने को हमारी क्या पहचान है, यह तो एक हिंदुस्तानी है, यही हमारी पहचान है। जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि 15 अगस्त 1947 को हमारा देश सदियों की गुलामी से आजाद हुआ था। हम हर साल स्वतंत्रता दिवस के इस पावन पर्व को बड़े धूमधाम से मनाते हैं। हम उन वीर स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों को सलाम करते हैं जिन्होंने आजादी के लिए हंसते हुए अपनी जान कुर्बान कर दी। आज उन शहीद जवानों को याद करने का अवसर है जिन्होंने देश के लिए अपना सर्वोच्च बलिदान दिया। आज भारत स्वतंत्र और खुशहाल लोगों के साथ दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र है। अनेकता में एकता हमारे देश की पहचान है। यह देश कोई और नहीं बल्कि अपना भारत महान है। आज हम दुनिया के सभी अंतरराष्ट्रीय मामलों में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाते हैं। हमारे युवा प्रौद्योगिकी और इंजीनियरिंग के क्षेत्र में दुनिया का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं। आज हर हिंदुस्तानी के दिल में एक ही जज्बा है, कुछ नशा तिरंगे की याद का है कुछ नशा मातृभूमि के शान का है। हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, नशा ये हिंदुस्तान की शान का है। अंतिम 4 लाइनों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहूंगी। आजादी की कभी शाम नहीं होने देंगे, शहीदों की कुर्बानी होने देंगे। बची हो जो एक बूंद भी लहू की, तब तक भारत माता का आंचल नीलाम नहीं होने देंगे, नीलाम नहीं होने देंगे। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Moving on, may we please request Mr. Rajan Jot sir, the honorable correspondent of our school, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning to all. Respected His Grace Joseph Mar Dionysius, our manager bishop, who is seeing this program live from Kerala. Respected Reverend Father Thomas Ramban, Vice President of the school, other dignitaries on the stage, principal, teachers, other staff, parents, students. Today we are celebrating the 75th Independence Day. We have already completed 74 Independence year. This is the result of many known and unknown heroes who have dedicated, who have given sacrifice for this land. Today we all remember them. We all pray for their families, pray for the soul. It is a very great honor, pleasure and privilege for me to be among you today. A few decades back, I was also a student of this school, standing near the railing, watching this celebration. Today, I am proud that I am able to share some of my feelings from this stage. I know a lot of speech you have heard, and you don't want to hear a long speech, because in our days, when you used to stand there and hear the speech, यही सोचते थे कब रोकेगा, because that time we used to get only बूंदी का लड्डू, biscuits and chocolates. We used to come for that only. But now the laddu has become chocolate and biscuit has become cake, I think. The temple of knowledge, this school, is the creativity of some youngsters around 58 years back. Those who came from Kerala and other part of India for their livelihood in this land of Chhattisgarh. Today we should remember them also, because you all, including me, we are a part of this prestigious institute. Today we have around 6,500 students, nearly 350 staff. As a learner, should have creativity in your mind. When you have creativity, you will start thinking. When you start thinking, you will get knowledge. And once you get knowledge, you are a great person of this land. After going out from this campus also, how useful we will be for the society, that should be our motto. With knowledge, you should have righteousness. I literally mean that you should have moral, you should be a right person morally. You should be a right person for the society. You should be a right person for your friends, for your family. And more than that, you should also build courage. Courage to face any failures that comes into your path. Once you face that, then only success will come. Today, we have many defense personnel from Navy, Army, Air Force, and all walks of life. On the behalf of the management of the school, I thank you all, sir. Colonel has pointed out one point. He asked us whether you have NCC in your school. Surely, sir, we were having, due to some or other reason, we discontinued it. But again, we have made a mind that we will continue with that program. We are into that process. Our manager Bishop has told to give his wishes, the Independent Day wishes to all the students and the staff that I am conveying to you. I wish all of you once more a happy Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sri Chandra Mohan, sir, designated as the NCO and served for 17 years in the Indian Army. May I request sir to address the gathering, please, sir.
जय हिंद सभी को। आज हम सब यहाँ पे इकट्ठा हुए हैं क्योंकि आज हम 75 इंडिपेंडेंस डे यहाँ पे मना रहे हैं। मैं कुछ एक दिल की बात बोलना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि कल मुझे प्रिंसिपल ने कॉल करके इनविटेशन दिया था, तो मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई क्योंकि मैं भी यहीं से रिसाली से ही स्कूल से पढ़ा हूँ और आगे आया। मेरी बहुत इच्छा थी कि मैं भी एमजीएम स्कूल में पढ़ूं क्योंकि हमारे टाइम पे एमजीएम स्कूल में बहुत बच्चे आने के लिए सोचते थे कि हम कैसे जाएं, क्योंकि ये स्कूल इतना अच्छा था, इतना अच्छा है अभी, क्योंकि लेकिन किसी कारण से हमारा एडमिशन यहाँ नहीं होता है। कई कारण थे उसके, क्योंकि लेकिन आज मैं यहाँ पर खड़ा हूँ, मुझे इतना अच्छा लग रहा है। बहुत मेरे लिए ये सम्मान की बात है कि आप लोगों ने मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया। मैं थोड़ा सा अपना परिचय दूं। मैं इंडियन आर्मी में 17 ईयर सर्विस करके 4 ईयर एनएसजी कमांडो। आप अच्छे से वाकिफ होंगे क्योंकि हमारी इंडिया की एकमात्र स्पेशल फोर्स एनएसजी जो काउंटर टेररिज्म टास्क फोर्स के सारे ऑपरेशन लेटेस्ट हाल ही में हमने एक एयरबेस अटैक ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दिया। मैं 6 दिन उस ऑपरेशन पे शामिल रहा और उस लड़ाई को हमने 6 दिन के अंदर जीती, क्योंकि स्पेशल फोर्स इतना लेट नहीं करती, क्योंकि हमें हमारा मेन मकसद होता है, मिलिटेंट को मारना मेन मकसद नहीं होता है, हमें वहां पे जो सिविलियंस हैं उसको कैसे बचाएं वो हमारा मेन उद्देश्य होता है। क्योंकि एयरबेस पे, पठानकोट एयरबेस पे सारी फैमिलियां, बच्चे सभी थे वहां, उनको रिकवर करना हमारे लिए सबसे मुश्किल वक्त था। क्योंकि जो 4 मिलिटेंट एयरबेस के अंदर आए थे उनका मकसद कुछ पाना नहीं था, उनका मकसद सिर्फ बर्बाद करना था। क्योंकि हमारे पठानकोट एयरबेस में इतने बड़े बड़े हैवी मिसाइल वगैरह रखे हैं, इसलिए हम उस लड़ाई में हमारी एनएसजी 51 एसएजी एनएसजी स्पेशल फोर्स ने इस ऑपरेशन को 4 दिन में खत्म कर दिया। हमारी ये कैजुअलिटी हुई, हमारे अधिकारी साहब, एक हमारी कैजुअलिटी हुई, बहुत दुख हुआ हमें, क्योंकि उस ऑपरेशन पे हमारी एक कैजुअलिटी हुई। मैं बहुत खुश नसीब हूं कि इतने बड़े ऑपरेशन को अंजाम देने के बाद भी मैं आज आप लोगों के सामने खड़ा हूं। मैं सिर्फ स्कूल्स के बच्चों को यही बताना चाहता हूं, अपने लक्ष्य को लेकर चलें। अक्सर हम अपने लक्ष्य से पीछे हट जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि अभी जो चल रहा है बस वही चल रहा है। पर मैं बता दूं, अगर हम लक्ष्य को बना के चले तो शायद हमें मंजिल बहुत जल्द मिल जाएगी। जिन बच्चों को इंडियन आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स में जाना है, जो मैं तो यही बोलूंगा कि हो सके तो सारे ही प्रयास करें, क्योंकि सिलेक्शन हर किसी का नहीं होता है, ये सभी को पता है। जो उस काबिल है सेना में जाने के लिए, उनका ही सिलेक्शन वहां पे होता है। तो आप सभी, मैं अभी ओसी में मेरी एकेडमी है, मैं बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग दे रहा हूँ। मेरे पास अभी 52 बच्चे फिजिकल रिटर्न ट्रेनिंग ले रहे हैं, ठीक, तैयार है भर्ती के लिए। और सारे बच्चों से मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि अपने एक लक्ष्य को बनाकर चलें, आप कभी नहीं हारेंगे। मुझे आज यहाँ पे इतनी देर बोलने का मौका मिला, मैं प्रिंसिपल सर, डायरेक्टर सर का और सभी शिक्षकों का बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir. Dancing is creating a structure that is visible only for a moment. Quoting that, I would like to invite the students of our school for a patriotic dance performance.
सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे
वैसे कैसा लड़का चाहिए था आपको रानी जी?
जिसका सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर हो, डैशिंग हो, कभी कभी चुन्नी।
That was a
बताओ ना क्यों मर्डर किया आपने अपने पति का?
dance performance worth watching again. Our independence is owed to those who stand strong on the border to let us sleep in our houses. Now, we kindly request Shri Devendra Bahadur Singh Ji, veteran, who was designated as the senior NCO and retired from the Indian Army after a service duration of 19 years, to share his experience in the Indian Army with us. Please, sir.
जय हिंद। भारत के 75वें स्वतंत्रता दिवस पर आप सभी का मैं हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं और मुझे बहुत गर्व और सम्मान का अनुभव हो रहा है कि एमजीएम स्कूल ने हम भूतपूर्व सैनिकों को यहाँ आमंत्रित किया। इसके लिए मैं एमजीएम कमेटी, एमजीएम स्टाफ, स्कूल सभी का पूर्व सैनिक संघ की तरफ से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने हमें ये सम्मान दिया। मुझे अभी पता चला है कि मुझे पहले थोड़ा सा ये लग रहा था कि मुझे टीचर्स को एड्रेस करना होगा, तो बड़ा ये कठिन था क्योंकि टीचर्स अपने आप में ही एक कंप्लीट होते हैं। मुझे पता चला कि बच्चे भी ऑनलाइन साथ में जुड़े हुए हैं, तो मुझे बच्चों के लिए कुछ इंडियन आर्मी, आर्म फोर्स, नेवी, एयर फोर्स के बारे में मैसेज है वो मैं आपके थ्रू देना चाहूंगा कि सर ने, कन्नन साहब ने भी बताया कि बहुत ब्राइट फ्यूचर है आर्म फोर्सेस में। तो मैं ये बताना चाहूंगा कि आर्म फोर्सेस में यंग हमारे लोगों की जरूरत है, बच्चों की। स्पेशली जो कुछ स्टेट्स हैं जहाँ के लोग जानते हैं कि आर्म फोर्सेस में क्या होता है, लेकिन जैसा सेंट्रल इंडिया, स्पेशली भिलाई, हम लोग, मैं भी यहीं भिलाई में पैदा हुआ, यहीं पढ़ा हूँ। बहुत ज्यादा मुझे नॉलेज नहीं था, मेरे बैकग्राउंड में कोई आर्मी में नहीं था। उसके बाद मैंने स्कूल में ज्वाइन किया एनसीसी, उसके बाद मुझे कुछ पता चला कि आर्मी होता है, और उसके बाद एक यूनिफॉर्म का ऐसा लगाव हो गया कि मुझे लगा कि नहीं, बस मेरा कैरियर जो है, मुझे जो कुछ भी करना है आर्मी में करूंगा। और मैंने स्कूल में एनसीसी किया, उसके बाद कॉलेज में एनसीसी किया, उसके बाद मेरे सामने कुछ और दिखता ही नहीं था मुझे आर्मी के अलावा कि मुझे आर्मी में जाना है। हालांकि बहुत ज्यादा नॉलेज भी नहीं था। आजकल नेट पे और बहुत सारी चीजों में लोग जान सकते हैं कि क्या होता है और क्या फ्यूचर है। हमारे समय में वैसा नहीं था, फिर भी मैंने आर्मी ज्वाइन किया और मुझे बड़ा प्राउड है। मैंने 19 ईयर आर्मी में जॉब किया, उसके बाद और वहाँ बहुत सारे एक्सपीरियंस रहे, वर्ल्ड क्लास एक्सपीरियंस जो आप अदर सर्विस में, अदर जॉब्स में पॉसिबल नहीं है। इन एवरी फील्ड, आप जिस भी फील्ड में जाना चाहते हैं, कई लोगों को लगता है कि कुछ आर्मी मीन्स बॉर्डर, गन्स, ये सब ही होता है, लेकिन उसके साथ ये सब तो है ही है, डिसिप्लिन, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो आपको वहां मिल सकती हैं। इवन अगर आप साइंटिस्ट बनना चाहते हैं तो आर्मी में फुल आपको स्कोप है। आपने डीआरडीओ सुना होगा, आप साइंटिस्ट बन सकते हैं। आप अगर इंजीनियर चाहते हैं कि मैं लाइफ में इंजीनियर बनना है, तो उसके लिए एक कोर ऑफ इंजीनियर्स आपने सुना होगा, ईएमई होता है, इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स, वो ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। इवन आपको लगता होगा कि टीचर्स का कोई काम नहीं होगा, लेकिन आर्मी में टीचर्स भी होते हैं। आर्मी एजुकेशन कोर होता है जो टीचर्स होते हैं। किसी को लगता है कि नहीं मैं कुछ रिलीजियस फील्ड में जाना चाहता हूँ, तो मैं आपको ये भी बताता हूँ कि आर्मी में रिलीजियस फील्ड भी होता है। आर्मी में फादर्स होते हैं, चर्च में चर्च होता है, फादर्स होते हैं, मंदिर में पंडित जी होते हैं, और वो सभी जो है वो आर्मी रैंक होल्डर होते हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि कहीं बाहर से आते हैं। और एवरी फील्ड, कुछ भी आप मेडिकल डॉक्टर बनना चाहते हैं तो एएमसी है, और कुछ भी करना चाहते हैं। आपने अभी अभी देखा होगा ओलंपिक्स हो रहा था, वहां पे हमारे जो फर्स्ट एथलीट, इसके पहले हमारे एक शूटर को मिला था, अभी जो फर्स्ट एथलीट गोल्ड मेडल लिए हैं नीरज चोपड़ा, वो भी आप लोगों को मालूम होगा कि वो भी आर्मी में है। तो उनको इतना बेहतरीन ट्रेनिंग और वो सब चीजें मिला जो ये पॉसिबल हुआ कि फर्स्ट एथलीट जिसने की गोल्ड मेडल लिया आर्मी में। तो स्पोर्ट्स में भी बहुत सारी फैसिलिटीज हैं जो हम लोग वहाँ पे आर्मी प्रोवाइड करती है, और हम बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं। इवन मैं भी इंडियन आर्मी में स्पोर्ट्स में था पहले। बेसिकली मैं हॉकी प्लेयर हूँ और नेशनल पार्टिसिपेट किया है लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स। और मतलब मेरा कहने का ये है कि कोई भी फील्ड ऐसा नहीं है जिसमें आप नहीं जा सकते हैं। और उसका स्टार्ट जहां तक मुझे लगता है एनसीसी है करने। जैसे बताया कि हमारे स्कूल में एनसीसी था, तो मैं सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि एक बार फिर उसको वो स्टार्ट करने की कोशिश करें। हम लोगों की तरफ से कुछ हेल्प चाहिए होगा। हमारी एक्स सर्विसमैन एसोसिएशन जो हमारा भूतपूर्व सैनिक संघ है, उसकी भी कोशिश यही है। मेरे बच्चे भी प्राइवेट स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, मुझे बड़ा वो लगता था कि मैं अपने बच्चों को एनसीसी नहीं करवा पाया। तो हमारी कोशिश भी है थोड़ा सा प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में एनसीसी के लिए जो टर्म्स कंडीशन है वो हार्ड है, कुछ चार्जेस होते हैं। हम लोग उसके कोशिश में हैं कि वो चार्जेस बंद हो जाएं, क्योंकि स्कूल प्राइवेट या किसी सोसाइटी का हो सकता है, लेकिन जो बच्चे हैं वो हमारे कंट्री के हैं, और उनको किसी भी चीज में पीछे नहीं किसी भी रीजन से कि प्राइवेट स्कूल से यहाँ एनसीसी नहीं होगा। तो हमारी कोशिश है कि हम लोग कोशिश करें कि मैक्सिमम प्राइवेट स्कूल में एनसीसी का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट चालू करा सकें। हम लोग यहाँ की भी डायरेक्टर एनसीसी से बात करेंगे कि जो भी कुछ हमारी तरफ से हो सकेगा करेंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. On this proud occasion, for every Indian, her presence of Kashmir will speak out a few words to embrace the occasion.
Honorable Chief Guest, Veteran Colonel E.J. Jayakanan Sir, Indian Army, other respected dignitaries from Indian Air Force, Naval Force, Armed Force, Very Reverend Father Thomas Rama, Honorable Correspondent Mr. Rajan George, members on School and Church Managing Committee, respected Principal Professor Dr. B.D. Taragan Sir, respected shift in charges, parents, MGM staff, and my dear friends. Let this Independence Day fill us with patriotic spirit. Let it inspire us to be good citizens. May the glory of Independence Day be with us forever. Happy Independence Day to all. COVID norms might have affected the way we celebrate this national festival, But the pandemic has not been able to simmer down our spirit a bit. But we are back here in our school to celebrate it together with great fervor and enthusiasm. We mostly celebrate Independence Day as a day that marks the end of British rule in 1947 and the establishment of a free and independent Indian nation. Of course, it is a day to remember and honor the sacrifice of our courageous leaders and freedom fighters. But most importantly, it is a day to take pride, celebrate, respect our noble country's rich honor, valor, history, culture, tradition, and it is a day to recount the major accomplishments of India during previous years and focusing on the future challenges and goals. Many of these challenges are tackled by Digital India vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. The entire nation has joined hands to take the dream of Digital India into a reality. Youngsters are enthusiastic, industry is supportive, and the government is proactive. India is yearning for a digital revolution. So let us join hands in making the dream of Digital India successful, where the world looks to India for the next big idea. And today, while the freedom expression, we also take pledge that would refrain from sharing and propagating negative content through our posts on social media timelines and statuses. Finally, I would like to share a quote which summarizes our glorious history and capture our vision and spirit. According to Mark Twain, India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and artistic material of human history are treasured in India only. I wish you all a very happy and proud 75th Independence Day. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Harshranjan. It's time to honor our distinguished guests. Today, we are honored with the esteemed presence of our chief guest, Colonel E.J. Jayakanan, Sir, veteran. Sir served in Indian Army for 35 years and 3 years with DGPHQ Chhattisgarh. Sir provided reliable and secure communication in different parts of the country during peace and war times. Sir served as principal Sainik School Chittorgarh, Rajasthan for 3 years. Sir was the captain of motorcycle display team during Platinum Jubilee 75 years. I request our Vice President Lady Reverend Thomas Rama to honor our chief guest. Now I request our honorable correspondents to hand over the sapling to the chief guest. Our correspondents, Mr. Rajan, to hand over the sapling to our chief guest. Next, we have Sri Devendra Bahadur Singh. Sir was designated as senior NCO in Indian Army and served for 19 years. Sir's achievement was Kargil War winner and participated in the Operations Vijay Indo-Pak. I request our Vice President to honor our Sri Devendra Bahadur Singh ji. I request Mrs. Chandni, our managing committee member, to hand over the sapling. Next to the row, we have Sri Muralidharan Nayak sir. Sir is designated as surgeon and served for 15 years in the Indian Air Force. I request the Vice President to honor sir. I request Mr. Shabu John to hand over the sapling. Next, we have Sri Ramesh Singh. Sir is designated as Nayak and served for 17 years in the Indian Army. Vice President, President Benjamin Thomas Parmar to honor Sri Ramesh too. Sir is designated as Nayak and served for 17 years in the Indian Army. I request our Anil Samuel, or Managing Committee member, to handle this happening.
Shri Chandramohan Ji, NCO, retired from the Indian Army on April 30, 2019. Sir was NSG Commando Force and Sir took part in the combat during the Pathankot Air Base attack in 2016. I request Rambachan to honor Chandramohan Ji. I request all of Sir to kindly hand over the sapling to Shri Chandramohan Ji. Shri Vice R.C. Rao, designated as branch manager, retired from the Army Supply Corps. Sir served the Army during the period of 18 years. Sir has got 17 years of experience in the field of education. Sir served at the Army Center. I request Rambachan to honor Shri Vice R.C. Rao by presenting. I request our Honorable Principal Sir to kindly present the sapling to Shri Vairaj Siva. Shri Satish Bhilai Gadge, designated as Petty Officer, Engineering Mechanical. Sir retired from Indian Navy after serving for 17 years. Sir took part in the operations during the Kargil War against Pakistan in 1999. I request Rambachan to honor Shri Gadge. I request our respected principal sir to present the sapling. Thank you. Please be seated. This has indeed been a day of feeling of utmost patriotism, and we, as the MGM fraternity, look up to every contribution that we can make to the country's advancement. With that, we come to an end of what has been a glorious showcase of our love for India.
Now, we would kindly request you all to please stand in honor to the national song.
Vande Mataram Sujala Sukara Malaya Jashitala Vande Mataram Vande Mataram Shukra Josna Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Tumadara Shobini Suhasini Sumadhuravashini Sukharam Varanam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram Jai Hind